It's the largest music products convention in the world, bar none. 100,000 people gathering in one very small location with very small hallways, with every product you could possibly imagine that makes all kinds of noise. It's NAMM. Welcome back to day 3 of NAMM, day 1 of official NAMM opening. We got Josh in the background. Yes, this is the hotel room because we spent all of our time there and they kicked us out of the building. So what the heck is NAMM and why would you even want to go? One, if you're a music retailer, you kind of have to. This is where you're going to meet people and find new products. If you're a music seller, that's not a right thing to say. If you make music products, this is where you would come to kind of link up arms with those people or to just get kind of general networking among people who are interested in music products.
General networking?
General. What hand gesture did you just do? But beyond that, NAMM is open to the public. Anybody could come and buy a badge. I think unless, what is the cutoff, 100,000? I heard 100,000 were here this year. As shoulder to shoulder as we were all day, I would completely believe there's 100,000 people here.
NAMM, an introvert's dream.
And it's not like the Anaheim Convention Center is tiny. This place is massive. It is filled with literally everything you could think of. If you're into guitars, you could stop at every guitar booth and you would not have enough time to get through darn near half of them. I don't see how you could possibly look at every guitar here. If you're into live sound, moving headlights, oh my gosh, every single product to put on a show. There was a whole room of connectors. Did you see that?
Yep.
The Styx monitor engineer Evan would be in heaven here, or maybe he wouldn't because he's very particular about his connectors. It's probably the only place that you could see absolutely like metalhead guitars decked out in chains and ripped jeans right across 6 feet from somebody giving a ukulele concert. It's a fever dream of music products. So if you were a young kid like me, you probably really wanted to go because toys are fun. Gear is fun. The funny part when you get here, yeah, the gear matters. It's the focus of everything that we're doing here. But beyond that, it's really the connections that you're making with the individuals here. If your goal when you get here is to get an endorsement, guaranteed not going to happen. Although your first time here you did.
I did, but I didn't come here looking for one. I came here to just experience it and ended up meeting Marco and just got along with him and the fellas at the booth so much and just started helping out. After a few days, I was doing product demos at the booth and selling basses, like getting custom orders through people walking around for him, and he sent me home with a bass and we've had a relationship since then.
That's the whole thing. Finding products that like you genuinely believe in and actually fill a gap in something that you need. And if you can serve something for them, that'll turn around and help you. And that's if you want an endorsement. Now I get it. There's a lot of pushback with gear when you talk about stuff like this, and a lot of videos surrounding this can get into kind of that gear acquisition syndrome. Like, do you actually need it? This stuff ultimately is just tools to do a job. If your workflow is conducive to something, then you're going to look for something that fits that. As somebody who really enjoys gear, I like to learn the people behind the design or get into the heads of like, why did you make this product? What is this product? Getting to talk to those people and like having those human moments beyond like read the spec sheet to me makes all of this way more interesting. And beyond that, this is everybody from across the world coming to one location to focus on one thing. Yes, it surrounds products, but ultimately it's music. So some of our biggest connections didn't even happen on the NAMM floor. Going over to OMA and talking to a microphone company and talking to a builder that unfortunately some of it didn't get filmed. We were just genuinely having a connection with somebody, but talking about why they do what they do, how they do what they do. That was invaluable. More than I could understand about microphone design, capsule making. Did that blow your mind as much as it did mine?
I told Sammy that it was like the best How It's Made episode times 1,000.
Next time we come, we will have the cameras rolling. I promise. But that is a company, I have had their mics, and you guys have seen them in countless videos, that I genuinely use the product, and then going to see like the hands that made it and get to talk to them and just hang out with them, I'm really excited about what they're doing. And I understand the intent of the product way more. And I think that's what's really cool about NAMM. When you can have those connections with people on the floor, like maybe this 500 series EQ doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but why did they make it? Why did they make this compressor? Why does it do this thing? What's different about it? And sometimes the answer is not different, and therefore maybe it's not right for you. Congratulations, you learned something. You don't need it.
I think hearing the passion behind the makers of things that you use on a day-to-day basis makes those things more magical of tools than they already were.
100%. Like, it's really easy to forget that they're humans creating something. Just like us in the studio. When you hear a song, it's really easy to just kind of turn your brain off and hear the song for what the song is. But you forget that there were humans who like actually sat down and talked and thought hard about like, well, maybe we're going to do this turn here. We're going to do this modulation here. Let's all do a band riff here. The same thing happens with products. Like somebody's designing that, not in every case, because of a problem they encountered, and this is their way to solve that problem. Then that may have turned into a hobby. Then they're like, well, maybe I'm going to try to build my own microphone. And then that took another step, and now all of a sudden you have a company. Hearing the passion behind why they started something like that, that's the part I really love about NAMM. And the gathering of like all of these individuals in one space, it's a really interesting vibe because not everybody's like that, but a lot of people are. What was something that stood out for you?
I think my favorite encounter today was with Vanguard. We talked a little bit about music. We talked a little bit about his path of fixing microphones, designing microphones, but then we started talking about our dogs. That's what it's about to me, like making those human connections like you're saying. And I liked the Vanguard that you have. Mm-hmm. I've heard it. It sounds great. But now I have this additional, very thick layer of appreciation knowing the person who put blood, sweat, and tears into it. And it's not only that I know that he was trying to solve this problem, but I now know that he fosters dogs. And he's, he was looking for a second dog because his other one was getting a little bit older. I know him as like a soul, as a person, in more than just the microcosm of the music industry.
Mm-hmm. That is a really good point, because I mean, you've seen me use that Vanguard in just about every session.
Yeah.
It's not something, I made a video about it. It's not like I haven't talked about that microphone. But now when I go back, now I know him even more to a higher degree. Like we spoke on the phone, we've talked back and forth in email, we've texted each other, but like standing there and like seeing pictures of his dog, somehow that makes me want to go and use that microphone in different ways. Like now I know so much of the intent behind the design because now I know the person. And it's a really interesting way to connect with people. Like as we make music in the studio, one of the big things is like, how can you get the band to connect with the audience? What different things can you give them? I'm trying to give them other content that they can do, because if that song is successful, ultimately I'm successful. And it's all about that fan to band connection. And weirdly, the same thing happens in the products industry. That human connection is the hardest part to get right. And like one of the few ways you can actually experience that is here at NAMM or other products conventions like it. This just happens to be like one of the biggest ones. So if that is something that you're interested in, come on down to NAMM. Bring earplugs though. If you like this video, go check out this one in one of these corners. I never know which one to point to, where some of the largest studio owners and managers talk about whether they think recording studios are dying or not.
Okay, bye.
Bye.